I'll reveal to you a little secret. I went to the Talmud and I opened the Gemara, what we have, and I started to dig into a big spiritual research where the 10 tribes of Israel have gone. And I was able to find in Masechet Sanhedrin, page 94, that the Gemara asks where the 10 tribes have gone, and clearly Mar Zutra state to Africa. Wrote the 10 tribes went to one place, Africa. The other 2 tribes, Benjamin and Judah, spread all over the world, and Hashem will gather them. And the 10 tribes of Israel went to Africa, and by the end of
scattered reports told of Jewish tribes living beyond the mythical Sambatyon River, of a remote African land inhabited by the 10 lost tribes of Israel. Reports told of Jewish tribes living beyond the mythical Sambatyon River, of a remote African land inhabited by the 10 lost tribes of Israel.
Shalom, everyone. All praises to the Most High YAHUAH Elohim, and to our Savior Yahusha Mashiach. This is your boy, your friend, your brother, Friendship West African Yasharal. To this topic, and this investigation is going to be about the 12 tribe chart exposed, part 3. The 10 lost tribes are in Africa. I know some of y'all been waiting for it a long time. I'm sorry about it, but today I did it. Yeah. So one thing we need to know: this topic has been debated for centuries. People have been saying that those tribes are in the Americas, in Japan, in India, in Oceania or Australia, whatever you call it, Pacific Islanders, in Europe. Yeah. But nobody has real concrete evidence. Yeah. And as Socrates said, we need to follow the evidence where they're going to. So we're going to follow the evidence, biblical and historical. We're going to bring out everything. Yeah. All the resources in my power, I'm going to put them out. Yeah. So another thing, I am not trying to convince anybody of anything. That's the last thing I'm trying to do. I'm giving you truth. You can do whatever you want with it. Yeah. So let's see what the scripture says. Let's see what the historical evidence says. Let's see where the evidence are leading us. And as I would say, there you go. Let's get it in. Right. So first part of this investigation and lesson, we'll be dealing with the biblical accounts of the 10 lost tribes. So we're going to pick up at the beginning, not the very beginning, because for time's sake. Yeah. So we will start with the events of 1 Kings. So just to give you a little hands up, Solomon's been bad, and then the Most High punished him with the tearing of his kingdom in 2 parts, if you want. Yeah. But let's read about it. 1 Kings chapter 11 verse 4. So we're going to read 1 Kings chapter 11 verse 4 through 9. For it came to pass, when Solomon was old, that his wife turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with Yahuwah his Elohim, as was the heart of David his father. Verse 5 now. For Solomon went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. And Solomon did evil in the sight of Yahuwah, and went not fully after Yahuwah, as did David his father. Yeah, let's keep it moving. Verse 7 now. Then Solomon did build in high place for Chemosh, the abomination of the Moab, and in the hill that is before Jerusalem, or Jerusalem if you want, and for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon. Yeah, so Solomon's been bad. Yeah, because he followed this strange woman, and I wonder why y'all Negroes talking about you can date whatever you want to be. But anyway, I will listen to that too. Check down my page below. Anyway, 1 Kings chapter 11 verse 8 now. And likewise did he for all his strange wives, which burnt incense and sacrificed unto their gods. Yeah. And Yahuwah was angry with Solomon because his heart was turned from Yahuwah Elohim of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice. So now Solomon messed up, and now we get into the division of the kingdom. Yeah, because of the punishment that's going to be placed upon him. But for time's sake, I cannot go through every single scriptures. Yeah, so we're going to keep moving. We want to 1 Kings chapter 11 verse 31, and we're going to read verse 31 to 32. Let's get it. And he said to Jeroboam, take thee 10 pieces, for thus saith Yahuwah, the Elohim of Israel, behold, I will rend the kingdom out of the hand of Solomon, and will give 10 tribes to thee. So basically, the prophet is telling Jeroboam what's about to come, or should I say the punishment of Solomon, basically. Yeah, which is the tearing of the kingdom in two, and then we will have 10 tribes for Jeroboam, which is going to be the northern kingdoms, and we're going to have 2, or should I say 1 tribe for the south, which is the southern kingdom. Yeah, we're 32 now. But he shall have 1 tribe for my servant David's sake, and for Yerushalayim's sake, the city which I have chosen out of all the tribe of Israel. Yeah, so now we know what's going on. This is where we pick up from. Yeah, all right, let's keep moving. Yeah, so it will give you something like that. Yeah, so on the top here, this is Northern Kingdom, and down there, Southern Kingdom. Yeah, so this was the how was the kingdom of Israel at this time. Yeah, so with that being said, after that, the Northern Kingdom is being bad. Then Yahuwah wants to punish them with sending the armies from another nation, which is going to be the Assyrians. Yeah, so let's get it. What's it said? Scriptures. So we want 1 Kings chapter 17, and 1 verse 5 to 8. Then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land and went up to Samaria, which is the place where the Northern Kingdom were. Yeah, and besieged it 3 years, or 6 now. In the 9th year of YAHUSHA, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away unto Assyria. So now we know that the Israelites have been taken away out of the place to another place. Yeah, makes sense? All right, keep moving. And placed them in Halal. Check this out. Keep that in mind. Yeah, and in Habor by the river of Gozan, in the city of the Medes. Yeah, that's very important for your understanding, because these places, they are strategic. Yeah, okay. And also they're gonna have a big deal when we're gonna come to the migration of the 10 tribes. Yeah, okay, cool. Now we know that they've been moved away to Assyria, to Halal, the Harbor River, Gozan, and the Medes. Yeah, all right. We're on verse 7 now. For so it was that the children of Yasharal had sinned against Yahuwah, their Elohim, which had brought them up out of the land of Mizraim from under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Mizraim, and had feared other Elohims. Yeah, verse 8. And walked in the statutes of the heathen, whom Yahuwah cast out from before the children of Yasharal, and of the king of Yasharal, which they had made. Yeah, so now you know the story behind the captivity of the Israelites and the reason why they were taken captive. Yeah, let's keep moving. And with that being said, we know that they've been taken to Halal, River Gozan, and Medes. Yeah, one more time. Okay, now we have a map of the captivity of the Israelites from the Northern Kingdom. So we'll say the Northern Kingdom were here. Yeah, and remember they taken away to the rivers and all that stuff. Yeah, over the waters, right? So that goes in right here. That's Midian. Yeah, which is what? Which is the land of Japheth. Yeah, the Persians and all that. And here, that's probably Medes and all that stuff. Yeah, and check this out. We have also the Euphrates River right here, and that is extremely important for your understanding of this lesson. Yeah, that's a crucial point. Yeah, so with that being said, We have all the cities on the other side of the Euphrates River, right? Okay, and the land of Yasharal is on the southern side, right? So, other side, that's where they were taken, yeah? In the southern side, this is where they came from, yeah? All right. That being said, we can keep it moving, yeah? And we'll pick up at 2nd Esdras, and we're on chapter 13, verse 40 through 47. One thing I like to say, I know some people do not like the Apocrypha and all that stuff, yeah? But if you go through it, the Apocrypha is inspired by the word of the Messiah, believe me, yeah? Now, another thing, I don't think that the 2nd Esdras, book of 2nd Esdras, is very accurate or whatnot, but for argument's sake, yeah, I will use this as the evidence, yeah? And also, I just want to show y'all that y'all don't know how to read, especially you campers, you don't know how to read, yeah? And you don't know how to do a perfect exegesis, yeah? Okay, so pick up by verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Usha the king, whom Salmanaser the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so they came into another land. So that at the end they came into another land. He's talking about the land of their captivity, right? Then we're told that they're taken away, yeah, over the waters, Euphrates river goes in and all that stuff, right? As we just read in the script. So there's nothing wrong. We understand that now. Let's keep it moving then, yeah? But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. Interesting. Yeah? Verse 42. That they might dare keep the statues which they never kept in their own land. That's another clue. 43. And they entered the Euphrates by the narrow places of the river. The whole up. So now, remember that they were in Gozan, Halal, Harbor, and all that stuff, yeah? The Medes, which was over the waters. And I showed you the Euphrates by the map. So now we're told that they're coming towards the Euphrates. So that means that they moved further south, not north, right? And that's crucial for your understanding again. I need y'all to listen to me. Now, let's keep it moving. So we know that they're at the Euphrates now, yeah? By the narrow places of the rivers, Euphrates, right? Okay. For the Most High then should sign for them, and hell stayed the flood till they were passed over. They're at the Euphrates, y'all. Yeah? They're by the river. They're not by the Atlantic Ocean and they're going to take boats to America. And second, that's one, yeah? And second, how can you navigate if there's no flood? I really question people's intelligence. Where are you going to go with boats if there is no flood? If the water ain't moving, where and how are you going to navigate? That doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah? But y'all buying into this nonsense that the natives or the Israelites or whatnot. Seriously, y'all. Come on. Yeah? So the Most High had to this flood till they were passed over. And we know that they had the Euphrates. And the Euphrates is a river. So that flood is the flood of the river. Duh. Common sense. This is how you do a perfect exegesis of a text. Yeah? Keep it moving. 45 now. For through that country, there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half. And the same region is called Azareth. Now, stop there. Some of y'all talking about Columbus said he knew that the Israelites were in America and there was Azareth. You go read the book, yeah, that they're talking about. There's no mentions of Azareth at all. That's one. Yeah? And two, yeah, we can do the same thing in Africa and come to the conclusion. Check this out. This is the Chronicles of King of Britain. Yeah? Chronicles of Kings of Britain. Yeah? And you see right there, it says Africa. Yeah? So they're explaining certain troubles that they had. They were in places in Africa. Yeah? Yeah? Right here. Africa, and look what they're saying. Near the river Azareth. Wow. Near the river Azareth, which is in Africa, near Mauritania. So now, we can do the same thing as y'all, jump to the conclusion that, and speculate that, this could have been a mistranslation, and Azareth, or Azareth, is in Africa. It still worked for us. And y'all know that they went further south, because they were further north, on the other side of the Euphrates. And if you are going towards the Euphrates, that means that you're going south, because they were in Gozan, Halal, and Arbor, and the Medes. I showed y'all. Now, if y'all don't know directions, I cannot help you. But as far as I'm concerned, all the evidence point out to a southern or a migration further south, Arabia and all that stuff. Okay. Now let's pick back up to 2nd Ezra 13 and 46. Then dwell they there until the latter time, so which means the end of times, the last days. And now, when it shall begin to come, so that's saying then when they're gonna come back. 47 now. The highest shall stay the spring of the stream again, that they may go through. So that's talking about they're gonna go back to a river, and then the Most High would do the same thing again, hold the flood. Talking about the spring. So you understand this is not talking about ocean. Therefore, sowest thou the multitude with peace. So now, how did y'all come with the conclusion that the someone somehow made ships and all that stuff with that verse right here? I don't understand. So now you mean to tell me that the Most High is going to have the flood again? For you to navigate. If I know you can't navigate with a flood, without a flood, sorry. From the Americas to the land. Makes no sense. And that's what's happening when people don't know how to read, and you let these dummy campers read for you when they know what they're reading. It's just a plot against you, y'all. Now I'm going to explain a bit more. We're exposing the lies right here. Once again, I ain't trying to convince anyone. The truth is here. We all can read English, as far as I'm concerned. And now, let's jump to the second part of this investigation. Alright, so now, for the second part of this investigation, we will be talking about the prophecy, speaking of the rivers of Cush, or beyond the rivers of Cush. So, let's pick back up from Esdras. Remember, we're told that in the latter time, or should I say the last time, the last days, the Israelites will go back to the land, but the Most High will hold the flood from a river for them to go through again. Okay, makes sense, right? Now, let me explain. It will make no sense that this river is the Euphrates again. Why? Let me show it to you. Because one, they were captive and they entered into the Euphrates, right? They were captive in the land of Assyria. Let's check the maps. Remember, they were captive in Gozan, Halal, and all that stuff. Media, which is the Medes and all that stuff, is there. So according to Esdras, 2nd Esdras, they come to the Euphrates, right? Even if you want to pick up there, they still come from here to here, so it's further south, right? So it would make no sense that this prophecy is speaking of the Euphrates River, because they're going back to the land. They're not going to do this, and this. They're going back to land. Now, we have a scriptures talking about people coming from a river at the end of times. Let me show it to you. Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 10. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants, even the daughters of my dispersed, shall bring my offering. Yeah? And the real name is Cush. Right? Some scholars have identified this river with the Nile River. Yeah? So regardless, we got a people coming from a river at the end of the times. Yeah? Let's read verse 11. Yeah, to get more understanding. And in that day shalt thou not be ashamed from all thy doings, wherein thou hast transgressed against me. So that's talking about people that have sinned. Yeah? So this can only be talking about the Israelite. Yeah? Let's keep it moving. For then will I take away out of the midst of thee them that rejoice in thy pride, and thou shalt no more be haughty because of the holy mountain. Yeah? So it's going back to the land. So, from the rivers of where? Ethiopia, Cush. This is talking about Africa, y'all. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, if we put all the pieces of the puzzle, it makes sense. Yeah, that's that river that the Most High is gonna hold for the Israelites that are in Africa to come back. Yeah, and we ain't talking about when they came and get these the brothers, the so-called Ethiopian Jews. Yeah, when they came and get the so-called Philasha or whatever, which are Israelite. Yes, they are. Yeah, we're not talking about that, because these people, they're trying to fulfill prophecy in their own ways. Does that make sense? Yeah, they want to come up with this fake messianic stuff. This is why they say that the the natives are the Israelite. That's why, because they were trying to fulfill some fake messianic prophecy. Yeah, because there's a big deal in finding the 10 lost tribes. Yeah, because I will explain at the end, because it means a lot. Yeah, if you find the 10 lost tribe, yeah, then it's a marker for what is to come. Yeah, I explain further later on. Yeah, and let's continue. That's gonna make more sense. Isaiah chapter 11 verse 12 through 13. And it shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcast of Israel, the northern kingdom, and so that's a difference now. There's a difference. And gather together the dispersed of Yahudah from the four corners of the earth. Now, I've already spoken about it before in the last videos. There is one people that is at the four corners of the earth right now, due to slavery. There's one group of people. It's the Negroes. You can't tell me nothing. Yeah? There's only one group of people on earth that is dispersed at the four corners of the earth. Dispersed. Yeah? It's not a thing where they just decided to just go there. Yeah, let's travel like the British and all that stuff. Nah, we're talking about dispersed. They've been taken away over there. Yeah? And it's the Negroes. You find Negro slave in India. Yeah? You find Negro slave in South America. You find Negro slave in Europe. They were sent there, yes. You find Negro slaves all the way down Madagascar. They were taken by slaves by the Arabs. Yeah? Which Madagascar is the south of Africa, after South Africa. So, now, that being said, we got the four corners of the earth right there. Only one people fit this description. You can't tell me nothing. Y'all talking about you believe in the Bible and all that stuff, you Christians or Jewish or whatever. Yeah? But when we're showing it to you that black people fulfill these very prophecies, y'all pissed off. Y'all angry. Y'all hate us. You don't want to see the truth, that we are the people of the Most High. There's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't mean that you can't be grafted in and you won't be saved or whatever. But y'all hate us so much, you don't like that truth. But we're going to bring it out. Yeah? Believe that. So, with that being said, yeah, we got the outcast of Israel, yeah, and the dispersed of Judah. And Judah is at the four corners of the earth. So, once again, we have the outcast. We found out that some people are going to come from the land of Africa. All the migration point out to a southern migration. Yeah, all the maps and all of that stuff, all the evidence. I'm just dealing with the biblical evidence right there through prophecies. Yeah, and that's a lot already. I can stop the video right there, but I got more. Yeah, so we got that. Now, we're also told through that prophecy right here that we have Judah at the four corners of the earth, which means that Israel and Judah are separated. Does that make sense? But from the church chart, it seems like everybody's in America. Even the Edomites, which makes no sense. Because the Edomites are not white. But anyway, verse 13. And the envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversary of Yehudah shall be cut off. Yeah, because they are at the four corners of the earth through slavery. So obviously they have adversaries with them. They're with their oppressors now. Yeah? So that makes more sense. Now, the whole thing makes sense. Ephraim shall not envy Yehudah, and Yehudah shall not vex Ephraim again. And this ain't talking about the so-called beef that you have with Mexicans, which is not even the real beef. Yeah, you got more beef with us in Africa than with them. Yeah? Because y'all don't even know what happened in slavery, and y'all talking nonsense. Yeah, and all that stuff. You got more beef. We are the people that you hate. Yeah? But we look like you. You should ask yourself questions. And don't come up with your nonsense of Hamite. But I digress. And I'll finish yet. I got more stuff for the second part. I got more stuff. So, still dealing with the prophecies. Yeah? So, we're just seeing the outcasts of Israel. Yeah? And we kind of understand that they're probably near this Kush River or whatnot. And we have the tribe of Judah, or the southern kingdom, which is at the four corners of the earth. That's the end time prophecy. But Isaiah is saying another thing as well after, which goes back to that same prophecy. Yeah? In chapter 12 or 11, verse 12. Yeah? Let me read it. It's going to make more sense. And you're going to understand why, yeah, it's important to us to understand who are the Israelites. Yeah? So Isaiah chapter 43, verse 3 to 7. For I am YAHUAH your Elohim, the only one of Yasharal, thy Savior. I gave Mizraim for thy ransom, Ethiopia and Seba for you. So the Most High is saying he got rid of people for the Israelites. Yeah? So he did a lot for us. Yeah? But we were ungrateful, unfortunately. Yeah? Let's keep it moving. Verse 4. Since thou was precious in my sight, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee. Interesting. Therefore, I will give men for you and people for your life. So the Most High is confirming that he's ready to take down these other nations. Yes, there is retribution, there is vengeance, and there is judgment for the other nations, but also there is salvation for those that wanna worship the Most High of Israel and are not from Israel, right? But we're gonna point out the instances in the scriptures where it speaks of retribution too. Yeah? And not just say John 3:16, Jesus loved you. No, let's continue. Yeah? For fear not, for I am with you. I will bring thy seed from the east and gather thee from the west. I will say to the north, give up, and the south, keep not back. Bring my sons from afar, and my daughters from the ends of the earth. One more time. The four corners of the earth, right? Who are captive at the four corners of the earth? And y'all telling us that we're tripping when we say we're the Israelite. We're fulfilling them prophecies. Y'all say you believe in the Bible and all that, but y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all don't want to hear this stuff, because it makes you feel guilty. But you're going to repay anyway. We repay now. Yeah? And you're going to repay at the end. How about that? Yeah? Verse 7. Everyone that is called by my name, for I have created him for my glory. I have formed him, I have made him. Yeah? So, this is the reason why they don't want you to know that these are black. And that they're still alive today. They are the so-called Negroes. Yeah? And that the 10 lost tribe are behind the Kush River. Yeah? And that Yahudah or Judah is really and truly at the four corners of the earth. But these fake Jews are talking about their Judah or whatever, when the scripture says that they are the four corners of the earth. That makes no sense. A bunch of hypocrites. That's what I'm saying. Hypocrite.
These scattered reports told of Jewish tribes living beyond the mythical Sambation River, of a remote African land inhabited by the 10 lost tribes of Israel. Reports told of Jewish tribes living beyond the mythical Sambation River, of a remote African land inhabited by the 10 lost tribes of Israel.
So I showed y'all previously about the possible migration from the 10 lost tribe to the south, right? Now, I showed y'all these people coming from the land of Cush. Now, I just showed y'all a video talking about they know, that there is a possible people living by the Sambation River, right? And the prophecies at the end of time says these people are coming from the land of Cush. So now we have historical evidence of someone that tests that the 10 lost tribe, or should I say 4 of these 10 lost tribes were at that time by the river of Cush. And let's see, we're on Wikipedia. Have you heard about Eldad the Danite? Here we go. Eldad Hadani. Eldad Hadani. Eldad, son of Mali the Danite. Was a 9th century Jewish merchant, traveler, and philologist. Though probably originally from Southern Arabia, he professed to be citizen of an independent Jewish state in where? East Africa, where the land of Cush is, right? Inhabited by the people claiming descent from the lost tribes of Dan, Asher, Gad, and Naphtali. Remember these tribes, Eldad visited Babylonia, Kiron, and Iberia, where he spread fanciful accounts of the 10 lost tribes and Halakot, which he claims he brought from his native country. So we have historical evidence that there was someone, there's been writings about him, there's accounts of him, he existed. Now, the credibility of this man has been debated for centuries. I'm not gonna lie. People say that. To me, I believe they're just gaslighting the man because he said he came from Africa. And if the 10 lost tribes are in Africa, we got a big deal now. You gotta explain some stuff, you know what I mean? So that's my opinion. But as far as I'm concerned, we have concrete evidence. At least historical, there are traces. Y'all don't have traces when you're talking about the natives, oh no, the Anglo-Saxon nonsense. You don't have evidence like that. We have written, recorded evidence from numerous other nations. Let me elaborate. Just to show y'all that we got evidence, the rituals of Eldad Hadani. To show you some historical proof that this man existed. It is not bullcrap. Because people like to gaslight us when we're talking. Even though it's from Wikipedia that they use themselves, they be like, oh, Wikipedia is not a sure source. So we're gonna jump into it. We're gonna read the introduction. Chapter 1. More than 1,000 years ago have elapsed since Eldad Hadani appeared in Kiron, which is in Nigeria, North Africa, and stirred the community by the remarkable accounts of 4 lost tribes of Israel, and by an equally remarkable ritual and slaughtering which he represented as the Talmud of the 4 tribes. So it's not fiction. The man existed. It's recorded. We have evidence. So what I'm gonna bring out, literally it's not fake. Now the authenticity, no one will ever know, but we have evidence. All right, it's not finished. We're gonna continue. We're gonna go to page number 4 and read a bit more. The respondent speaks of only 4 tribes, the Sefer Eldad, or letters of Eldad if you want, gives an account of the 10 tribes. This discrepancy should have sufficed to arouse suspicion in regard to the authenticity of the Sefer Eldad. If Eldad had indeed brought such astonishing news as that the rediscovery of the 10 tribes, we may be sure that the Jews of Quran would have undoubtedly have been as much interested in this information. So that's all I wanted you to know. I don't want to read the whole book and all that, but just to show y'all that we have evidence. They even give you books, that they get it from. So this man existed. There's an entire book about him. It's not bull crap. So the evidence that we're gonna bring out, and the testimony of this man is to take in consideration. Thank you.
And now, roughly 1900 years later, comes this Eldad figure who starts appearing in various large concentrations of Jews, for example, in Kairon, which is in modern North Africa, and starts saying, I come from the tribe of Dan. That's why they call him the Danite or Dani, because he comes from the lost tribe of Dan, and he starts telling what his experience was like living there. So let's learn a little bit about his story. He claimed to come from beyond the Cush River, which is probably the Nile, and as I mentioned, that many historians who looked at these tales in the 19th century were trying to place it in Arabia, perhaps in Yemen. It's difficult to say, and again, there are many textual variants to the story, so it's not at all clear. His story is that he went out with a friend of his who was a member of the tribe of Asher, also a lost tribe, and they were doing a sea journey when their ship sank. God saved them by sending them a plank of wood, which they clung to tenaciously until they were shipwrecked on this island. That's a fantastic story. So the sources are difficult. Again, the first printed version comes to us from 1480, which is already 500, 600 years after the story was first told. And we don't know exactly who first penned it to paper. It is written in a very literate Hebrew, however, with some extensive references to Arabic words. Ironically, this betrays some of Eldad's legitimacy, because he had claimed to come from a region where the Jews spoke only pure Hebrew without any adulterations of other languages whatsoever, and his linguistic bias indicates that he must have lived in some Arabic lands. But again, it's very difficult to say. We're not sure exactly who first copied this legend down.
All right, so now I'm going to know the evidence for Eldad the Danite from Babylon to Timbuktu. And just to shut y'all campers down, because this is a Church Exposed video, y'all don't read that book. Because, 1, there's no mentions of the Native Americans being Israelite. That's 1. 2, these books contradict your whole belief. And y'all promoting this book because y'all know people don't read. Black people don't read. And that's a sad fact. But I'm not anybody. There's people like me out there. And we're going to read the whole thing. So let's see what's going on here. Let's go to page 92. Because y'all only read page 99. Sorry, 89. Let's get to page 92. Let's see what it's saying. Wow. Eldad the Danite. Oh, let's see what he's talking about now. In the 9th century, a black African Hebrew arrived in the city of Quran in Algeria, North Africa, as I said. In the city was one of the famous Talmudic school. The name of this Hebrew was Eldad the Danite. He told the incredible story of a Hebrew empire south of Sahara in western Sudan. That's East Africa, all that. Kush. Sudan is actually Kush, Ethiopia, and some part of Eritrea, according to some historians. According to Eldad the Danite, the Hebrews in the interior of Africa spoke a Phoenician Hebraic language mixed with Arabic. They had a religion which had come down from Moses and a Hebrew emperor. it was believed that this emperor was named Clutan or Bulutan. Eldad said that the people of this tribe had fled from the kingdom of Israel after Sennacherib the Assyrian, the 10 lost tribe, yeah. It's not no joke. Okay. Had subdued it. And the other Israelite tribes such as Naphtali, Gad, but y'all say, hold up. But y'all say that God is the Native Americans. But Rudolph Windsor is contradicting your whole doctrine. Let's keep it moving. And Asher were in the land from which he came. What land did he come from? The Sahara, Western Sudan. That's Africa. That is your book from Babylon to Timbuktu that y'all promoting, you campers. But y'all don't read. That's what I'm saying. So when I say we have the historical evidence, it's not crap. Yeah? The evidence is there. So, one more time. What y'all gonna say now? Where are the lost tribes? Where? To me, I think it is very obvious. And I got more to bring out. Thank you. Alright, so we're going to get a bit more history about Danite because he has more things to say. So for time's sake, I won't read the whole thing, but I'll leave everything in any information in the description below if you're more interested in reading more. Yeah? So we're going to pick up here. Yeah? Eldad related, they were the tribe of Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. We hear, yeah? 4 tribes lived side by side in peace and brotherhood. The region where they lived was a fertile one. The only trouble was that the surrounding tribes were unfriendly. The 4 tribes had fight them constantly. So each tribe went to war for 3 months in the year, coming back with much spoil and with many slaves, which they divided among all the tribes. The elder and scholar received a greater share of the produce and riches, so that they could study the Torah in peace. Let's continue. Yeah? We right here, yeah? Yes, Eldad really did. They are in possession of the Torah. They have the 5 books of Moses and most books of the prophet, but they did not have the book of Esther, nor did they know anything about the festival of Purim, because the miracle of Purim happened many years after the destruction of Beth Hamidash. And these 4 tribes were not in Persia at the time. Yeah? So, to stop there, that is another fulfillment of prophecy. Remember what they were saying in the book of Esdras? They're going to Azareth and they're going to keep the Torah over there. Nah, Eldad comes from the land of Cush and he says that, well, look, we over there. Yeah, we're having wars with people sometimes, but we're keeping the Torah over there and we have a Torah. You know what I mean? So, here we go. Like, what else do you want? I mean, yeah. Let's go down a bit more and get more of the history. Yeah. Go. We're going down a little bit more, yeah. Alright, so I don't know if you remember, but the story was talking about Eldad traveled with a friend of him, which is from tribe of Asher. Then they got kidnapped by what's it called? By some Cushite or Ethiopians, cannibals or whatnot, and then they ate his boy from Asher because he was fat, and then obviously he wasn't fat, he was a fit man, so like they didn't want to eat him straight away and all that. So we're gonna pick up from where we took. So here we go. Yeah. So we hear they took many captives, among them Eldad. The masters brought them captive to Azania in the land of Yemen to sell them there as slaves. A Jewish merchant of the tribe of Issachar bought Eldad and set him free. Yeah, so that's a beautiful story. There's a lot to say, but I just wanted to get a bit more of his accounts. Yeah, Eldad was now able to continue on his own travel through the Arabian Peninsula, and he crossed many deserts and mountains. In the Arabian desert, he found the tribe of Ephraim, wow, and half of the tribe of Manasseh. They lived not far from the Arabian city of Mecca. The Arabs, he called them by their biblical name, Ishmaelites, feared them, for they are mighty horsemen and fearless desert fighter. Yeah, we're going down. We are right here. I don't want to lose y'all. Yeah. And that went onto the land of Medes, yeah, in Persia, which once they were ruled by the Assyrian and Babylonians. There, in the mountains, he came across the tribe of Issachar and Zebulun, who lived next to each other beyond the mountain Paran. Eldad met also the tribe of Reuben. About these Jews, Eldad related that they spoke Hebrew and Persian, that they have the Holy Scriptures as well as Minshah and Talmud, and they read the Holy Torah every Shabbat in Hebrew and Persian. Yeah, so and then obviously after that he goes to North Africa or whatever. Yeah, so what I wanted y'all to understand is that we have evidence. Yeah, regardless of what you believe of the authenticity of man, the man existed. It is concrete evidence that he existed. And personally, yeah, I don't like to say I believe, but I believe that it's true because we have clues that there are Jewish tribes in Africa. We have clues, yeah, and that's a fact. We have clues, and I brought out more evidence. Yeah, now the first time I'm gonna speculate. I mean, speculate like proper, yeah, because me in my videos I don't like to speculate, but for argument's sake, I will. Yeah, so my hypothesis is that the other tribes later came to Africa. So we had the 4 tribes, yeah, then the other, yeah, were pushed away through wars and stuff like that and migrated to Africa. Because if Eldad went there and spoke to them, he must have told them that we have a kingdom over there coming with us or whatever, yeah, and then he continued his way, you know. And then the land of Cush is not new to the Israelites. Like the land of Africa is not something extraordinary that the Israelites would not know how to get there. You know what I'm saying? So that is my idea, my hypothesis. Yeah, that is my, you know, my idea. So you can remember it, or if you don't want to remember it, that's fine. But that's what I came up with because it makes sense. Yeah, and we know throughout history that there's been a lot of wars. The Romans throughout Arabia and all that stuff. Yeah, the Romans, the Greeks, and the Muslims, and the Ottoman Empire, and all these people. Yeah, all the wars that they provoked and all that stuff may have made the Jews that lived there move down. I'm sure. Yeah, so I'm not making this up. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But anyway, we're gonna continue with more of evidence of the 10 lost tribes in Africa. Alright, so to further prove my case, because I said I have a hypothesis, a theory, or whatever you want to call it, yeah, and I don't like that. So to further prove my case, yeah, we'll study the Jews of Bilad el Sudan, or the Jews of the land of the blacks. So this is a historical fact that there were an empire of Jews in Africa. That's a fact. They can't deny it, yeah, because the Muslims recorded it, yeah. So now they like to gaslight it and say, oh, the people disappeared and we don't know where they are. They've been assimilated to African tribes and all that nonsense, yeah. But with everything that we've seen so far, Eldad the Danite, the prophecies and everything, yeah, it makes sense now. And that's why I was saying that these other tribes that were in Arabia and Persia and all that stuff, maybe they may have been moved, yeah, through war and stuff like that, yeah, to be pushed further towards Africa and join back these other tribes that were there, yeah. And I will explain a bit more later, but let me read that. So the Jews of Bilad and Sudan, yeah, Judeo-Arabic, describe West African Jewish community who were connected to known Jewish communities from the Middle East, North Africa, Spain, and Portugal. So further proving my case, yeah, from the Middle East, North Africa, and Spain, which were the places where Eldad went. So if you put the whole puzzle together, it makes a lot of sense. But anyway, let me keep moving. Various historical records attest that their presence at one time in the Ghana and Mali and Songhai Empire, then called the Bilad al-Sudan, from the Arabic meaning land of the blacks. Jews from Spain, Portugal, and Morocco in later years also formed communities off the coast of Senegal, and on the island of Cape Verde. Yeah, these communities continue to exist for hundreds of years, but have since disappeared due to changing social condition, persecution, migration, and assimilation. So that's the part where like the gaslight people, they gaslighting us. Oh, they disappeared, whatever, we don't know what's going on. Yeah, and that's one thing I hate, but we're gonna bring the truth out today. Yeah, let's read a bit more right here. According to most accounts, the earlier Jewish settlements in Africa were in places such as Egypt, Tunisia, and Morocco, so they can't deny that fact. Yeah, and because they're still white, very, very light skin looking, literally Arabs, Jewish over there. That's why they say, okay, oh yeah, that's them. They were on black, But anyway, let's keep moving. Jews had settled along the Upper Nile at Elephantine in Egypt. These communities were augmented by subsequent arrivals of Jews after the destruction of the Second Temple in Jerusalem in 70 CE, when 30,000 Jewish slaves were settled through Cartagena by the Roman Emperor Titus. So it's a fact that there were Jews going to Africa. This information is not taught in school and all that stuff. But when we are here saying that we are the Hebrews and all that stuff, people are saying, no, you're tripping and all that stuff. But that's on Wikipedia and all that stuff. And this document you can only find it in Wikipedia, only in Wikipedia. People are trying to write about it and all that stuff. The manuscript, they don't want to give it to us. There's no books, full books explaining that. Let's continue. For a bit more right here. Africa is identified in various Jewish sources in connection with Tarnish and Ophir, the Septuagint, and Jerome, who was taught by Jews, and very often the Aramaic Targum on the prophets, identify the biblical Tarnish with Carthage, which is the birthplace of numbers of rabbis mentioned in the Talmud. Africa, in the border sense, is clearly indicated where mention is made of the what? Check this out. 10 tribes having been driven into exile by Assyrian and having journeyed into Africa. So that's what I'm saying. So when I'm saying again, that the 10 tribes are in Africa, I'm not tripping. We're not tripping. They know this information is out there, but because people don't read and people are gaslighting us when we're saying this stuff, people don't care. But we gotta pay attention to this stuff. I'm not saying they're saying that it's a fact, but the documentation is there, and there's nothing they can do about it. Let's continue. Connected with this idea that the river Sabbatean River in Africa, or the river Kush if you want, fulfilling the prophecies again. The Arabs, who also known the legends of Beni Musa, sons of Moses, agree with the Jews in placing their land in Africa. And then that's the manuscript here. From these Arabs. You see? So, we're not tripping. Check this out right here. According to certain Malian legends, mentioned in the Turkish al-Sudan, may have recorded the first Jewish presence in West Africa with arrival of Zumwa, ruler of Kukia, in his border, located near the Niger River. He was known as Zaza or Zuwa, Elman, meaning he comes from Yemen. Some local legends state that Elman or Elman was member of one of the Jewish community that were either transported, voluntarily moved from Yemen by Ethiopians in the 9th century CE after the defeat of Du Nuwas. So what's this here talking about? Malian. Timbuktu. Let's scroll down and look. They give you more evidence. Manuscripts speaking on this stuff. They give you these men's name They were Jews. They existed. It's not bullcrap. Yeah? It's not bullcrap. Yeah? Look, we have more evidence. Leo Africanist spoke of Jews being in Africa. Yeah? And no, Africa does not come from Leo Africanist. That's bullcrap. Yeah? There's more information. There's also, what's it called? Testimony of people in Timbuktu. Yeah? In Timbuktu. Talking about there were Jews in there. Yeah? There's been manuscripts found over there. So when people say in West Africa, oh, we're Jews, people are just surprised that we're saying that. Like it's something extraordinary, but there was evidence for that. Regardless, they are trying to gaslight it and say, no, the people disappeared. We have not disappeared. We're here. Yeah? And now, people in West Africa are waking up to this truth and saying, hey, we're the real Hebrews, yeah? People looking at it like we're crazy. But they know. They know this information. So one more time, I proved my case, and I got more. I'm not finished. Let's get back to from Babylon Timbuktu. For those that would like to gaslight me when I said, oh, I have a theory on a hypothesis on the other 10 tribes joining back the other tribes that were in Africa. Yeah, because I have evidence. Yeah, but I just said it's a hypothesis. But anyway, get it. Yeah, let's go to page 88 of that book. Yeah. And show you once again that y'all don't read. Yeah? Here we go. When North and Eastern Africa had amassed over 1 million Jews, these Jews began a what? Continuous migration to the region of what? The Niger River. And I showed you from Wikipedia what they were saying. Everybody got this evidence. It's not crazy. It's not... People just not wake up one day and made it up. Yeah? There's evidence for it. Yeah, let's continue and drop down from Senegal to Somalia. Somalia is East Africa, Senegal is West Africa. Yeah. Anyway, it's known as the Sudan or Black Africa. Bilad and Sudan, right? Okay. Between the 2nd and 3rd century, the Black Jews of Arabia continued the migration across the Red Sea to Ethiopia. So I showed you, yeah, the accounts of Eldad that he said they met the tribe of Issachar in Arabia. Yeah. So I'm not tripping when I said that they may have migrated further south. But let me continue. Yeah, let's see. The largest exodus of the Jews occurred during the what? The persecution by the Arabs led by the Mohammeds. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People, the Israelites, when anything happens to the Israelites, they're always going towards Egypt. Why? Because they're Africans anyway. Africa is a continent. Africa is a continent. It's not a nation. Yeah? They're not going towards freaking Europe. You will find that nowhere in the scriptures. All the time when there's a migration and when they're persecuted, the Israelites go to Egypt. By this time, they decided to go further down the south. That's all. Let's continue. Yeah? There was a Jewish tribe called Rehab, which crossed the Red Sea and migrated to the extreme point of western Sudan. At the same time that the Jews were migrating western across the Sudan from Ethiopia, they also migrated southwards from Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, and Morocco. Yeah, from North Africa basically. Yeah, to the fertile region between the Senegal and Niger River. When the Jews from the north and east met between these two rivers, they established a confluence or crossroad in West Africa, the Negroland. Y'all know about it anyway. Yeah? When men could exchange their culture, ideas, and merchandise. So that's what it is, y'all. The evidence is here. So for those white people, you white people, and other people that believe that we're tripping, if you're watching this, yeah, I showed you from Wikipedia. I showed you from other sources. The thing is real. So when y'all say that we don't have evidence, and then where is the historical evidence? Y'all, the historical evidence is here. It's just because y'all don't read. And y'all don't want to believe us. And for you campers, you don't even know what you're talking about. You better change your doctrines, y'all. Because we're 10 tribes in West Africa, we're here. And I'm talking right now. You think I'm making this video for no reason? I'm making this video because you are trying to give my heritage to the natives and all that stuff. Yeah? When I'm here. And I'm not gonna let you give my heritage to people. I'll defend my people. Because my tribe, yeah, they're claiming to be one of the 10 lost tribes. So, let's keep moving.
Below. Ethiopia has been home to a number of Jewish communities for many centuries. Some people refer to them as falasha, which means moved or gone into exile. But most people consider that term derogatory, and thus they prefer to be called Beta Israel, Hebrew for House of Israel. The origins of Judaism in Ethiopia remain a mystery, but it's likely that the community's roots extend back for 2,500 years. Some Beta Israel believe that they are descendants of Menelik, who, according to legend, was the son of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. Others believe that the Beta Israel people were derived from the tribe of Dan, one of the 10 lost tribes of Israel mentioned in the Bible. Other people trace the origin of Beta Israel to the biblical parting of the Red Sea, so that the Jews in Egypt could escape into Israel. The claim is that these believers did not cross in time and instead escaped from Egypt by heading south. Some scholars have suggested that the Beta Israel community are descendants of Ethiopians converted by Jews who migrated to Ethiopia about 2,000 years ago from the region of southern Arabia that is now Yemen. So as we can see, the origins are hotly debated. When the Ethiopian kingdom of Aksum adopted Christianity as its official religion during the 4th century, the Beta Israel community were forced to relocate to the mountainous region around Lake Tana. Over the centuries, the Beta Israel community, numbering in the hundreds of thousands, ruled a powerful state. Beginning around 1400, however, the Solomonic dynasty of Ethiopia gradually subdued them, and in the 17th century, the Ethiopian emperor finally defeated the last Jewish state and seized its people's lands. Most Beta Israel gradually gave up their traditional language, Agah, and adopted the Tigrinya or Amhara language of their neighbors. During the latter end of the 19th century, the Beta Israel suffered from famine, disease, and forcible pressure to convert to Christianity. By 1900, only 60,000 to 70,000 Ethiopian Jews remained. A man named Dr. Jacques Faithlovich took up their cause in 1923. He put the Beta Israel community in touch with the Jewish communities around the world, opening up a school for them in Addis Ababa and sent several of them to Jewish schools in Europe. Although his activities came to a halt during the Italian occupation of Ethiopia, he had achieved something very important. For the first time in modern history, the Beta Israel community had some contact with other Jewish people around the world. In terms of their religious beliefs, the Beta Israel have always identified themselves as exiles from the land of Israel and believers in the faith of Moses. For almost 2,000 years, however, they were completely isolated from the rest of the Jewish world. It seemed as though they never learned of the Talmud, the codification of Judaism's oral law, or of any of the traditions that arose after biblical times, such as the holiday of Hanukkah. The religious life of Beta Israel is based on the Torah, on oral interpretations passed down from generation to generation, and on the community's own holy writings. Some Beta Israel customs are similar to Jewish practices based on oral law and rabbinical literature. Others resemble ancient customs practiced by Jews during the biblical and Talmudic periods. Beta Israel villages, usually set apart from neighboring Christian villages, were always situated near a body of water for purposes of ritual bathing and purification. Religious life revolved around the synagogue, called the Mesgid or Beit Makdas.
You've heard of at least a little bit about Kenya, whether it's where your Starbucks brew was imported from, or if you've seen those jumping Maasai people, or if you want to make another cliche Obama joke. Kenya seems to take the spotlight most in East Africa. It's made a name for itself. Now let's see where it is. The name Kenya is roughly derived from the words of various dialects meaning God's resting place. And when you see what's going on, you'll understand why. First of all, Kenya is located in East Africa, transected in the south by the equator, surrounded by 5 countries, with a decent-sized coast along the largest lake in Africa, Lake Victoria, as well as the Indian Ocean to the east. The country is divided into 47 semi-autonomous counties, with the capital and largest city, Nairobi, which has its own county in itself. The largest cities after Nairobi would be Mombasa and Nakuru. However, the busiest airports would be the 3 international hubs, Nairobi Jomo Kenyatta, Mombasa's Moi International, and Eldoret International. As of people that have made a name for themselves. Let's see how in... If East Africa was a family, Kenya would be like the brother who got rich but still has some weird issues in his head that he kind of has to suppress. First of all, the country has about 49 million people, and about 3/4 of the population is below 30 years of age. The country is made up of about 47 different tribes. However, the majority of these tribes are classified under the Bantu peoples at 67%, the Nilotic peoples at around 30%, and the remainder is made up of other groups, mostly Cushitic, Arabs, Indians, and Europeans. Of the Bantu peoples, however, the largest tribes would be the Kikuyu, the Luya, and the Kamba, whereas the largest Nilotic groups would be the Kalenjin and the Luo. The country also uses the Kenyan shilling as their currency. Culture, but rather a plethora of vibrant tribes, each with their own unique traits, trades, and traditions. For example, some of the overarching summaries I've gotten from you guys, the Kenyan geographies, include descriptions like the Kikuyu are often known for being good businessmen. The Luya are good at rugby. The Luos take politics and music very seriously, and they're very proud that Obama's dad was from their tribe. The Kisi are the tough tea farmers. The Kalenjin are the runners, as 75% of all Olympic gold medal athletes have come from them, mostly in running sports. The Kamba are great pottery and carving artists. The Turkana have those really long beaded necklaces that stretch their necks. The Meru moved from Tanzania and might be a lost tribe of Israel.
From ancient time is the throne where Eri, the king himself, sits. Eri, we know in the Bible that he is the son of God, and God is the son of Yaakov. This place used to sit from ancient time till now. This inscription you see here, written by cowries. Cowries those days were like what we use as money in the olden days. Okay? So this cowries you see here, it was not written done today. It has been here in centuries, the time of God to Eri, till today. It has remained. And this throne here remains. The ancient throne, this is the original ancient throne where God left for his son Eri.
Yasharal of Agleri that has maintained a dynasty. He is the 34th king in Obugad. But apart from that they have maintained this kingship and dynasty, other Israelites are equally in Igbo land. We have Zebulun, we have Ephraim, we have Menashe, we have Reuben, we have Danites. They are all here.
N'ibi boss wa apụta bụ si n'aka Eri Gad bụ ụmụ Israel ma ọ bụ Israel si n'ọnwa o ma ọ bụ anyị ma ọ bụ anyị si Israel na ụmụ Israel bụ nwanne n'Igbo adọrọ n'elu n'Yoruba ma ebe a si wa apụta Hausa ma ebe a si wa apụta na anyị na bụ n'ọnwa n'Igbo adọrọ n'elu ị na-aga ị na-eme ngala n'ọnwa Chineke ka ị bụ.
You walk with pride because you're a child of Adonai.
Ka Chineke gozie onaba ya o.
Now Adonai bless us.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Igbos are Israelites. The question of Igbo being Israelites are not in doubt. There are evidences that Igbos are Israelites. The journey of Igbo started when the Assyrians actually attacked and exiled the 10 tribes of Israel, the Northern Kingdom, in 722 BCE. From that period, all the 10 tribes were scattered. The bulk, according to Mazutra, were taken to Africa. So in Igbo land, you will see most of these lost 10 tribes.
Concentrated in the shadow of the South Pansberg Mountains in the far north of South Africa. To the casual observer, they look and live much like any other traditional Southern African community. But if you scratch below the surface, there are some intriguing differences. Here I am in South Africa, and there are these men wearing skull caps and talit, the shoulder wraps. You would see this in any synagogue in America or Israel, but I never thought I'd see it here in South Africa. I want to find out how these people seem to have Jewish customs. Samuel Moeti is president of the Lemba Cultural Association.
Pleasure.
So, I'll be honest, I came into this village and the first word I heard was Shalom,
Yes.
a Hebrew word.
Yes.
How's that possible? How is it that the Lemba are speaking Hebrew?
The Lembas are the original Hebrews, and they were scattered, as you know, and they crossed into Africa. So they were scattered all over. So in South Africa, in many parts of South Africa, you find the Lembas who are actually Hebrews.
Hebrew, so the Lembas claim to be descendants of ancient Israelites?
Not claim, they are.
They are?
They are.
Okay.
We are the original African Hebrew. We are scattered all over.
Can you give me a few examples of some of the Jewish?
Yes, we don't partake of pork.
Okay.
We don't mix milk with meat.
It sounds to me like the Lemba have a unique culture surrounded by others who do not practice the same way.
That is correct. We always believe that the Jewish people who live all over the world are our brothers because we come from the same root.
Could it be that the Lemba are a lost tribe of Israel? To answer, perhaps the Lemba's oral history, handed down over the generations, can help us make a connection to the lost tribes of Israel. The Lemba story goes like this. Thousands of years ago, they were forced out of Israel and settled in a place called Senna, which is believed to be the present-day Yemen. There, they lived as traders and craftsmen until war or natural disaster pushed them across the Red Sea and into Africa. Then began a slow migration south. Along the way, according to the Lemba, they built great stone cities. It's a claim that's fascinating. Himla is convinced that Lemba ancestors did indeed come from the Middle East. I'm excited to get back to the Lemba to see what they make of this. And I've got the perfect opportunity. It's the Lemba's annual festival, and I've been invited. It's hard to believe that these people, who to the casual observer look just like the other African communities they live among, actually do have DNA passed down from Middle Eastern forefathers. This proves that when it comes to race, looks really can be deceiving. This annual festival is a chance for the oral history and traditional songs of the Lemba to be passed on to the next generation. This song tells the story of the Lemba's journey all the way from Israel to South Africa. Having traced this journey, I'm eager to hear what Samuel Moeti thinks about the DNA evidence. So the genetic testing actually proved to the doubters what you and your forefathers have been saying for generations. That must be exciting news.
It is.
I'll be honest, I hadn't heard of the Lemba. I knew very little about the people. But having spent time making the journey from Jerusalem down through Zimbabwe, having spent time here at this festival, seeing what your people are all about, I can only sum it up in one word, and that's Shalom.
Shalom.
We've seen how science has backed up the claims of the Lemba in the face of years of doubt and prejudice. The archaeological clues, the DNA evidence, and the Lemba's own oral history add up to a very convincing argument. A tribe of black Africans could be the descendants of ancient Israelites. But that's exactly what they appear to be.
Brothers and sisters, they are there. We are not lost. We are scattered. We are original Hebrew.
One of the most challenging aspects to doing this journey and seeing what it was like for the Lemba to go from the northern parts of Israel down into South Africa is that there's very little archaeological evidence on the ground that says definitively this is what the Lemba did. To go from the northern parts of Israel down into South Africa is that there's very little archaeological evidence on the ground that says definitively this is what the Lemba did.
Alright, so the conclusion of the matter is that whosoever finds the 10 lost tribes sets the marker for the last days. Yeah? Because if you find the tribes of Israel, yeah, then we can say, boom, yeah, at this moment, this is the time for the Messianic prophecy to come through. And that's why the so-called Jewish people, they wanted to do it first, and that's why they made up this whole stuff about the natives or whatnot, and the Mormons, yeah, they were onto it too. They all conspired to mess up the whole thing and come up with these fake Messianic prophecies, yeah, by saying that the lost tribe were either the Anglo-Saxons or the Native American. Yeah, this is gaslighting the whole thing. That's all, y'all. They don't want us to find out the truth, so then it's gonna be on our terms. Yeah, and it's time for y'all to wake up now, because we're literally in the last days. Look what's going on in the world right now with this corona nonsense. You know what I'm saying? So that's the conclusion. Yeah, and also it's a bigger deal. Yeah, if you find a 10 lost tribe, then you become important. If you're one of the 10 lost tribes, then you become important to the whole world. If you're an Israelite anywhere in the world, you become important. So that's why a lot of people, they want to be the Israelite. Yeah, but not everybody can be the Israelite. Y'all, some of y'all need to actually understand. It's a bloodline thing. Come on. Not the whole world can be Israelite. The Chinese, the Indians, they're people that's coming up with evidence everywhere. In Japan, people say the Israelite. You know what I mean? The Europeans started saying the Israelite too. They made a fake chart, 12-star chart too. Because y'all calling them Edomites. And they're not even Edomites. You know what I mean? Yeah? It's time to wake up, y'all. Let's get back our heritage. It's not time to share the heritage with people that are estranged. Yeah? With the foreigners. That's not the time to share our heritage, y'all. And one more time, I never tried to convince anyone. Never tried at one point that you can believe me on that. And I want to convince you that I ain't trying to convince anybody. Yeah? Truth is truth. And it's out there for you to seek it. The Most High left traces for us. So now let's stop with the nonsense of hating each other as black people. Yeah, because you're from Africa or the Caribbeans or the Americas or whatever. Yeah. And let's get together. Keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Keep the faith on the Mashiach, Yahusha. Keep the laws of Yahuwah. So then when the Most High comes back for us, we're worthy of it. And whosoever wants to join us from other nations, they can do it. If you don't, you're going to pay the price. And even if you're an Israelite, if you don't join us, you're going to pay the price too. It's only fair with the Most High. So I hope this video have enlightened you. I hope that you're going to throw this 12 chart away. Burn it down. Yeah? Share this video. Comment, please. I want to see your comments. Like and subscribe. If you made it this far, I really, really thank you. Tuda. Yeah. So, once again, thank y'all and Shalom.